but there's multiple universes within DC.
Got
so
you.
Flash can be with his normal Superman, and then he can run into the Speed Force, and then he can go into another universe where maybe the Superman is different, and so he'll be interacting with that Superman too. So I mean, usually they do have comics. What's up, folks?
What's up, you guys?
I'm Juan.
I'm Crystal.
Make sure you go hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications.
We post every single day.
And make sure you go comment down below what you guys want us to react to next. Go ahead.
Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be watching how DC is competing with Marvel and the Multiverse Strategy.
So, pretty much the Multiverse Strategy is present this as different universes. So, the multiverse in Marvel is how it comprises. It's still Marvel, but it's like different universes, like Earth this, Earth that, Earth that. Same with DC, right? So it's like the same Iron Man, but they're from two different universes, so they have a little bit different stories or completely different stories. So the multiverse is that's just explaining multiple universes of the same thing.
Of the same thing, so like different scenarios, basically?
Yeah, so it's like in one multiverse, maybe that you're used to, you have Tony Stark, you know, helping out Spider-Man. In another universe, maybe Tony Stark died and Spider-Man is actually older or something. And another universe, you know what I mean? Everything is just different amongst it. Because you remember I mentioned in the last video, Thanos and the Infinity Stones. There's different Infinity Stones in each universe.
Gotcha.
So every multiverse is different. And so DC has that same thing. So I'm guessing that this person wants DC to use the multiverse strategy in order to compete with Marvel.
That makes sense now. Okay.
Because if you think about it, most of DC's best work has dabbled into that, especially like the Flash cartoons, because Flash can run into different universes, so he can travel throughout them.
So is there a Flash in DC? I mean, in Marvel?
No. So they're not really connected necessarily, but it's DC. But there's multiple universes within DC. So Flash can be with his normal Superman, and then he can run into the Speed Force, and then he can go into another universe where maybe the Superman is different, and so he'll be interacting with that Superman too. So I mean, so the Flash, he can just with the Speed Force, he can go in different universes. I mean, I'm sure they have a comic out there where they do like a collab or something, but typically he's not able to just run into the Marvel world, you know. That makes sense. Because according to DC, Marvel just doesn't exist, and according to Marvel, DC doesn't exist. Usually, they do have comics where they mix them up, but that's just extra stuff, you know what I mean? So, sorry guys, I gotta give her a little lesson, a little rundown.
See, look, I'm new to this comic book world. You know
yeah, you learning though.
I'm learning, you know.
You learning quick, and you watch all the movies, so it's not like I have to explain too much. Let's get into this video.
Hi, I don't want to get killed, so let me make a few things clear. This video is pretty much on how DC is finally competing with Marvel, and I'm more of a Marvel fan currently than a DC fan, but I did grow up as a DC fan. I'm viewing all this with no bias in mind, and I don't want to propagate a fan war or something like that. That being said, these two companies are companies. They create films and games for us to consume, and they have to constantly compete to stay profitable. Like Walmart and Amazon vying for dominance over online shopping, let's not forget that Marvel and DC have to bring their A game if they want to stay in the hearts and minds of the people. And Marvel has been killing it, baby. The MCU has been a massive, thick success since 2008. Then we got the cartoon dominance, good or not, then we got the Netflix shows, and now we're finally getting video games. Marvel has been the best, and no matter how much DC and Warner Brothers respects them, they're very obviously thinking, how the flippity-flap do we catch up to them? That's a real quote, by the way. Someone at Warner Brothers headquarters definitely said that. Also, by the way, this video won't touch comics. I want to talk about what affects Marvel and DC in the mainstream. And sadly, comics aren't really mainstream. For example, if a movie changes something, the comics will most likely change to accommodate. That's just the power of movies, like it or not. So, Warner Brothers execs racked their brains and finally came upon a realization. We don't have to copy Marvel. Let's do our own thing. Someone finally realized that the MCU movies aren't popular because they're a cinematic universe, though that does play a factor. Most people genuinely enjoy MCU movies because they're good. That sparked an idea. Let's take something DC is known for and run with it. The multiverse. And whoever came up with that shit just single-handedly saved Warner Brothers. DC has come up with a brilliant strategy to bring itself back from being known as the edgy, less good Marvel Studios, and that strategy is one I like to call the Multiverse Strategy, and I think it's working.
Guys, probably fought hundreds of thousands of you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance. Now, before we begin, I just want to say that Marvel is heating up the competition, especially in the video game sector, and after so many announcements, here's another bombshell. Fortnite. Fortnite Season 4 Nexus War has just been released, baby, and it is sick. Fortnite is the world's most popular battle royale game, right? Well, you know what would make it even better? Marvel. Well, more Marvel. Team up with Marvel's greatest heroes and villains like Thor, Iron Man, who probably plays better than the one in Marvel's of She-Hulk, Storm, Doctor Doom, Wolverine, and more. I'm honestly so happy to see X-Men characters in a game. Not only have the Marvel characters landed on the islands, but the locations are also Marvel-based as well, including Doom's Domain, Sentinel Graveyard, and more. With superpowers like Doctor Doom's Arcane Gauntlets, Groot's Bramble Shield, and Silver Surfer's Board, Nexus War is an event you do not want to miss. Do you want to know who the characters team up to fight? Oh yeah, baby. Poggers. Yeah, saying that is definitely not going to date this video. So now is the perfect time to jump in. If you haven't downloaded Fortnite already, use the link in the description below to download Fortnite for free. Definitely check it out. I'll be streaming it on Twitch at some point, so I hope to see you gamers there. Thank you, Epic Games, for sponsoring this video. And now, on to the rest of the video. Let me paint you a picture. Justice League has just released an absolute failure of a movie.
Please don't show me that
is
lip.
mediocre, but that in of itself is a failure. Because Warner Brothers was expecting an Avengers-level hit on their hands, but no, we got this.
Brunch. Like, what is brunch?
At this moment in time, Warner Brothers wanted to create a cinematic universe to compete with Marvel, because stupidly what they took away from Marvel was connecting everything together and adding a ton of Easter eggs makes your movies good. But it doesn't. And so, like I said, a new plan came together. The Multiverse Strategy, and it all started with Crisis on Infinite Earths. Oh, wrong visual, sorry, not that crisis. This crisis.
Hello?
As random and weird as this was, this confirmed one thing. The multiverse is real, and it doesn't only connect the CW shows, old DC shows, and old movies together, it connects the current DC extended universe. This changed everything. The biggest strength DC has always had is the random weird directions the characters could take. It's like Marvel's What If, but expanded dramatically. We got Red Sun, The Dark Knight Returns, Gotham by Gaslight, Earth 1. And if you apply this comic idea to the films, then technically all these movies are part of this multiverse that CW's Crisis established, right? So technically, whenever there is a standalone movie, like say Joker, even though it's not connected to the DC extended universe, it is still part of the DC multiverse.
Right.
And what does that mean? Creative freedom, bitch. This means that films can be created with vastly different versions of the same character. And these films can be directed by different directors with different creative visions. Say that 5 times fast. Directed by different directors with different creative visions. Directed by different directors with different creative visions. Okay, that wasn't that hard. DC's issues have actually helped them. Because since we've seen so many weird interpretations of the characters now, not just in films but in TV as well, we can accept the fact that there will always be different versions of the same character played by different actors. Heck, Flash's film, which is based on Flashpoint, will integrate Michael Keaton's Batman, have Ben Affleck's Batman, and might introduce Flashpoint Batman, who is Thomas Wayne, and that's all thanks to the multiverse.
This film is immensely important because if you look around at the DC universe, obviously we have all of these characters that exist within their own bubbles. By opening that door that Flashpoint did in the comics, all of these stories and characters can start to collide.
Being a multiverse, that means that DC can do what it does best.
The hell are you supposed to be?
I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that.
That's literally I said that I really like that the movie exists, and I hope DC makes more character-driven films like it, and lo and behold, because of the multiverse, these films can exist without being tied down to the restrictions of being in one cinematic universe. So in the pipeline, while we have future DCEU projects like The Flash and Black Adam, we can also get this absolutely sexy new Batman trilogy, a film series directed by Matt Reeves, which will begin with The Batman airing in 2021. I love the Matt Reeves Apes films, and this looks like everything I've ever wanted Batman to be. I am irrationally excited for this film. And heck, even the DC animated movie universe was killed by The Flash, though one could argue that Apocalypse War as a film killed the universe because it was so trashy. So because of this, the animated department can focus on standalone films again, like the latest Superman movie, as well as an upcoming long Halloween Batman movie. And let's not forget Zack Snyder's Justice League. I honestly feel like one of the few essayists that's unironically excited for this movie. As debatable as it is whether or not it was the right call to release the film for the fans, the Snyder Cut is coming out, and it already looks better than the theatrical release of the Justice League, which was fucking awful. And I think it's important to note that I just said that WB released this film for the fans. Now we'll see Zack Snyder's vision come to life, and you know, I'm pretty sure WB is doing this partly for the money, but it really does seem like WB is trying to cater to its fan base. DC fandom is a thing that happened, and it was free. There were panels with the casts of upcoming DC films, we had interviews with directors and such, and it was all amazing. It was like a free Comic-Con.
What was that?
I think this approach DC is taking to just start paying attention to the fans and catering to them rather than just focusing on what other companies are doing that's successful is the best approach. DC kept changing shit up to make their movies more like Marvel's, and that got them Justice League, when people who wanted to watch Justice League wanted to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League. WB's indecisiveness took David Ayer's movie away from him, and we were left with Suicide Squad, which was WB's attempt to recreate Guardians of the Galaxy.
Don't do that.
Has finally realized that they need to stop fighting their consumers for the most part, give them what they love, pitch them new ideas, and they should focus on the strengths only the DC brand can provide. And that, I believe, is the Multiverse Strategy.
I guess they figured it out, I guess.
I mean, look, man. Tell me he's not speaking facts.
No, he's speaking facts. Like, I do agree. Like, that Joker movie was great, and I feel like this upcoming Batman movie for 2021 is going to be great. So, and you said it sounded like it's going to be a trilogy, maybe?
I don't know. He said that. I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Comment down below if it is, but I think the Multiverse Strategy is definitely very, very good because they can do so much with it.
Yeah.
They have so much freedom. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then even like the video we watched, remember the people who were arguing the Marvel versus DC? The DC fan was saying, he said they are prepared to be a certain way for the sake of being different and having that creative freedom. And that's why that's the only way DC can compete. Because, you know, Marvel, as good as Marvel is, it does repeat a similar pattern. You know what I mean? People will say call it cookie cutter or whatever, but it does repeat a certain pattern, but it's all connected. Whereas DC can make these amazing solo films and just say, it was the multiverse. You know? And then maybe have Flash, who can move through those things, appear here and appear here. Like, that'd be crazy. You just watching a random solo film and all of a sudden, and you see Flash like, where am I? And you like, what? You know what I mean? That'd be cool. That would be interesting, a cool little thing. But you guys know our opinion. Wonder Woman was good.
Wonder Woman, I love Wonder Woman.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I love
Aquaman.
I love Aquaman.
Aquaman's good. Shazam, cool. It reminded me of a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
It's cool because it's silly, kind of funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Batman vs Superman.
I still liked it. I'm sorry. I still liked it. I know your point of view on it. Okay, I know. Don't you gotta say it, alright? You ain't gotta say it, alright? If you didn't see that video,
go check out our Batman Robert Pattinson trailer reaction, and you'll see my opinion on the movie. And then Justice League. I mean, not that I'm learning a lot more based on you guys' comments, so we do appreciate those comments because you do teach us a lot. So I've learned a lot from the comments and from what we've been watching that, you know, it was so much behind the scenes stuff that was going on, and that's kind of why it couldn't really give us what it wanted. But now they're making up for that with the Snyder Cut.
Exactly.
So
that's what I'm kind of like. I'm kind of I like the movie.
Yeah.
Justice League wasn't that bad to me. But I mean, like, I feel like this one's gonna be 10 times better.
Oh my God, it's gonna
10
be
times
so
better.
great. It's gonna be so. I already know.
Yeah.
So that's how you feel. That's how you feel about those movies. So that's how we feel about DC.
Yeah.
And I believe that it's coming back for sure.
And I really appreciate how he really stuck to the mainstream. Okay, you know, like I said before, I'm not a comic book reader. I'm not a comic book reader. Just a disclaimer. So I appreciate all the mainstream because I can really understand and contribute to the conversation. All right.
I'm gonna let you watch some, because you brought up some cartoons. I'm gonna let you watch some cartoons.
Oh yeah.
Justice League Apocalypse.
Okay,
That was good.
That was good.
That was good.
I trust your opinion.
I like that movie. It was so edgy. You know what I mean? Y'all should go check that out. That was good actually. If you got the DC Universe streaming platform, they got all the cartoons on there. So yeah, go check that out.
And then when you do, please come back to this video and then comment how you feel.
Oh yeah, comment your opinions on it. If you agree with me, disagree with me. If you agree to any of what we thought about the movie or disagree, go ahead, comment down below. We really appreciate those comments, guys.
Exactly.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's free, baby.
Just click the button.
It's alright, we won't tell nobody. We'll see you in the next video.